If you're pooping alone, you're doing it wrong. Don't poop alone, poop with friends. It's the number 2 show.
Well, hello, welcome back. Thank you. If you've been watching us since the beginning, you're incredible. I love you. Blessings. I am here today with Tyrone Webb the second. I believe is how they introduced you on the Lehigh Valley podcast.
Yes, the second.
Tyrone is an artist in the Lehigh Valley. He does incredible stuff. I'll link some of his stuff, and we'll talk about that later because he does some really cool stuff with NFTs and virtual reality and all that. We're going to get into that. But honored to have Tyrone on the number 2 show.
Thanks for having me.
You.
I've been watching you get this ready for a while, man. It's awesome to be here. I mean, look at all this. This is great. The sheer volume of work that went into it. And I remember specifically there was times where you weren't available to come to the meetings that we were having because you were down here grouting, or the fake grouting, right?
Fake grout,
the
yeah.
Fake grouting.
The tile on the walls took me so long.
Yeah, we watched. We saw the blue tape lines.
Quite a few
there's
Zoom.
blue tape over there too. So it can't go away. It's still here.
I'm going to be finding it when I'm 60.
Yep,
you
it's
know?
never going to go away.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so it's really nice to be here, and driving out here was nice, right? You come down the back roads and stuff, and you just feel like, wow, I'm gonna go sit on a toilet in this neighborhood.
Yeah, these are nice toilets, I gotta say.
Right.
They have been. 2 of them have been donated. That's the new one. I bought that one brand new.
Yeah.
I figured I'll let my guests sit on a brand new toilet.
Yeah. Now you have a friend or someone out there that comes to you and says, "Man, my toilet busted. Would you give one out for him?"
So, not people asking for my toilets,
right?
But I've had so many people reach out to me now,
yeah.
Like, "Hey, I have an old busted toilet. Do you want it?"
Nice.
I literally I've had probably 4 or 5 different people reach out to me since I started posting stuff.
It's gonna be like group sessions of like toilet circle, and we'll all sit around and talk. That's next.
Commune on the
on the commode.
Well, I've been trying to start off all my guests with a round of Cinco. So depending on which slot it falls into, there's
not to be confused with the number 5. This is just plain old
That's right.
Cinco.
Actual Cinco.
Nice.
I didn't honestly think about that when I was making this. I was like, Cinco, it's a sink, plinko.
Right. Glad I could help.
I probably should have put 5 slots.
Right? Wouldn't that have been funny?
So hopefully, I need to finish this board. It needs a piece of plexiglass over the front, but hopefully it doesn't bounce off.
And it needs like spokesmodels to walk you up and have you take it. Call you Bob.
Anybody who's a spokesmodel. Sarah Viteri.
Right. Why am I even saying it out loud when we have
you do cars, you can do Cinco.
Right, Cinco. Right. And you're gonna be like, what's the 5 got to do with it?
Yeah.
Because
she's
Spanish.
Spanish, yeah. All right, go for it.
All right.
Choose the.
So decide where you want to put it. I am going to try right here. All right. Just let her go. I am number 2.
Number 2. I'm honestly surprised. I've run this a bunch of times.
Yeah.
How often number 2 gets hit, and it's
the number 2 show.
It's ironic, and maybe it's intentional.
It's Providence.
It's Providence. There you go.
That's what it is.
So number 2, obviously, the question is, what's your most embarrassing bathroom story?
My most embarrassing bathroom story. Oh, geez. If it were going to be... All right. Okay. If I were to pick one, raising my daughters, it was one of those things where when you're raising kids, you find yourself in situations where you're going to blast through any of the norms of what you can and can't do in society. Yeah. Like, for example, you think your daughter's okay with going into the bathroom by herself in a public place, right? Well, this just happened to be at a one of those trucks, not a truck stop, but those highway stops on the turnpike where you can go, right. Yeah. Or one of those ones that are just on the highway when you're heading somewhere that you can get off and then stop and rest and fuel up and stuff. So it's more like the official thing for the state. Right. And when we got there, it was one of those moments where I got to go to the bathroom and she's got to go to the bathroom. So I think you can do it. And I think she at the time was 7 years old. And I was like, listen, honey, just go in there, use the bathroom, and then wash your hands, and then come right out. I'll be standing right here. So I have to quickly go into the bathroom and go to the bathroom myself and then come back out to meet her. But when I come back out to meet her, your worst case scenario occurs. She hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
And you're like, what could be going on in there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you wander around the front of the woman's bathroom as a man thinking to yourself, at what point in time can I just go in to check on my child, right? And it was just, nobody was coming out. And it went, and so when you go and you look, you can see it goes around the corner and goes in, and you're like, I'm waiting for someone to come out and say, hey, can you go check and see if my daughter's in there, everything's okay? And no one was coming out, and I'm like, all right, so I gotta go in. When I go into, I do the first corner, nobody. Next corner, nobody. Then all of a sudden I just hear like what probably has to be like what I thought was like 2 women playing battle. You know what I mean? Like there was 2 toilets in there that were so loud with people in there making noise. And my daughter was standing at the sink trying to wash her hands, and she had this horrified look on her face. And I just looked at her like, I'm like, come on, let's go before one of those doors opens and it comes and she comes out. Because if you're willing to go into a toilet and do that, if you catch me in there, chances are it's not going to be pretty. So I'm like, come on.
Oh my God.
So we left, and then I got her, and it was but that was pretty embarrassing because that was that moment where we were both looking at each other, and she smiled at me and I smiled at her when we just heard this like explosion of butt, and it was just, and it wasn't just one person, it was a couple of them. So it kind of destroyed that whole, what is it that, do you know how like when men go to a bar and women go to the bathroom in pairs, and like in every man's mind it's like bow chicka bow, you know, like it's gonna be something going on in there.
Right.
After having the experience I had with a bathroom now, I do realize now it's entirely possible that they're doing battle in there, and it has nothing to do with like some sexy moment. It is no. It's pretty rotten and rancid. So, So I have that luster has been taken away. I no longer see that as some awesome like, oh boy, I wish I could go with them. No, you don't want to be in there.
No.
So
I really need to invest in like stock of like the company that makes the book Everybody Poops.
Right. Yeah.
That's what this show's all about.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing it right, like there's all those things that go by on when you're in your feed and social media. And I remember there was that one for a while there that had that special toilet, you know, and it was like you're supposed to have your feet up when you're going to the bathroom, right?
Potty.
The squatty potty. That's it. You should be squatting, right? This is the woods. It's always the woods. Yeah. We were designed for the woods. This whole porcelain stuff, it's just a fallacy.
I need to reach out to them. Squatty Potty, if you're watching, sponsor us.
Yeah. There's definitely...
We'll happily push your product.
Right. We will put squatty potties right here, right? You will put it, right.
No, that's right.
Right.
I'll have all my guests in with their...
They'll have the squatty potty edition, you know? That's great.
The number 2 show, Squatty Potty.
Brought to you by Squatty Potty.
We could change the name of the Cinco board. I'm a whore. I'll do anything.
Stay
you give me money, and I'll do anything.
You'd be surprised how far this can go.
That's right. You think this is a family show? No.
Yeah. Be looking over at you right
Next week on The Number 2 Show.
Hi, we're on the toilets. I drew my way through high school. It was one of those situations where I would draw all day long.
It's true.
Never. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Like it's a whole nother layer of trying to create it.